Sure. My name is Lily Liu. Up until recently, I was CFO, one of the co-founders of Earn.com, which we sold to Coinbase earlier this year, about half a year ago. So I was there at, I was originally 21, turned into Earn for about 3 years. At the beginning, when I joined, 21 was a mining company that, had found itself in a little bit of a rough spot. And so we spent some time figuring that out. And then came upon the idea of initially sort of paid email, paid profiles, which is been a concept people have been thinking about for a while, which is what if you could tax spam in the ecosystem. We found a way of implementing that, and eventually got it to be a pretty good business, and then sold it to Coinbase earlier this year. I get several every day, as well as several spam text messages every day. So I use something called Nomo Robo, and it's a separate matter. Earlier this year, I'd say that was a success for the company. And so, when we started about 3 years ago with this company, I was 21 at the time, it wasn't clear what the perspective on that was going to be. And so we worked pretty hard to, get it back into shape. And then that was for about the first year and a half. And then the end of 2016, we had to come up with basically an entire new product, entirely new business. And we were able to build something with some traction. And so that was pretty great. Well, certainly. And I would say one of the challenges has been certainly, it's no secret there's a lot of volatility in cryptocurrency. And personally, when you're riding that wave, it can really take a lot of getting used to, right? So I got into cryptocurrency in kind of 13, 14 timeframe when it was really hot, right? You saw the first hockey stick, and then it, dropped to the depths of despair for really a couple of years, actually, right? So it went up to 1,300, dropped down at its lowest to about $175, $180 at that point when it was just a Bitcoin world, and it was very unclear what the perspective on this as an industry would be. So, personally, it was even challenging. You're sitting there and thinking, is this really the best use of my time, right? And I remember also, having worked in larger companies, having worked at McKinsey and then KKR previously, which are, very respectable institutions filled with really, really smart people. I remember talking to some of my colleagues back then in kind of the 15, 16, even into 17 timeframe, and just getting a look of, Lily, what happened to you? I'm feeling a little bit sorry for you, even for being stuck in this, weird corner of the tech world. I was playing with, funny sort of, dark web type of money is the way people outside of the blockchain world really saw it. That's right. That it's drug money or something, right? That it's drug money and sort of dirty money somehow. That's right.
It's amazing that it's still hanging on all these years later.
Right. When, in reality, suitcases of cash are actually used more to perpetuate those activities than really anything else. But so that was personally challenging even for a couple of years, right? Thinking, is this really, I'm excited about the long-term vision. I do believe in the long-term vision of what can be accomplished through cryptocurrency, through blockchain, and how transformative it is as a technology. But a couple of years in there where you sat down, sometimes looked in the mirror and thought a little bit, right? And so that's, I think, a good reminder even now, because people think that in comparison to, the price of Bitcoin December 17th or something like that, it looks pretty, dark times right now, bear market, so to speak. But in my mind, over the longer arc of development of this industry, we're still seeing higher highs and higher lows, and there's still plenty of people who are able to raise money to fund some really interesting ideas. And so to me, it might be a bit of a correction from this parabolic rise at the end of last year, and that comes with some pain points and other things like that. But I think generally we're still on an upwards trend, it's going to be all right. Quite possibly, quite possibly. This is still to me one of the most exciting industries out there. Transformative technology. There's so many different perspectives and opinions. It's a very non-consensus area, which is unusual given how much attention is on the industry. Right, for there to be such a diversity of opinions, I think really just shows how much kind of work we have ahead of us, how much kind of passion and interest there is, and how we really are, I think, pioneering a new technology and its application to society, really.